What's going on today, ladies and gentlemen? You'll recognize in front of you my Ford Honcho. It's the old 50s Ford. We call them Old Red. And this was just a build based off of an SCX-10 chassis. And I got clever and 3D printed up this whole rear assembly, this cage, platforms, little exhausts in there, a shovel. Yes, I'm missing the Widowmaker. Just realized that now that I'm filming. This Yeti cooler, this suspension itself, cantilever suspension. Well, cantilever. And it's a good little rig. It's a good little trail truck. Just kind of go over a couple things real quick. It's got a little bit of brass added underneath. You can see that under there from bumper mount. Could use some weight low up front, you know, just keep it planted well. But that's to come. Also has, look at those beautiful brass links under there. Nice and clean, simple build. The thing's amazing as it is, but we're gonna make it even better today. And notice actually a couple more additions since that last video. It's now sporting a Forest City Crawlers logo. The Forest City Crawlers actually come down quite a bit to the Rail City and take part in our Point Series run that's going on this season. First one ever. If you haven't seen the videos, make sure you check them out. And as well, I've changed it from a silver stripe down the hood to black. Using just some black vinyl. Nice and easy. Dollarama, guys. You know, it's got more black than it does silver, so it kind of suits it well. So let's get down to the modification we're doing today to really amp up this thing's climbing game. Let's check it out. So what you're seeing right here are the necessary components to do the modification today. It's an exploded view of a SCX-10, an OG SCX-10 steering axle, plus a servo, and the servo on axle mounting plate. That's what's going to make this possible, all these parts right here. Old Red is going all-wheel steering. You heard that, 4-wheel steering. And I'm actually going to try and do the modifications right here with you guys watching. This thing is going to be so much fun with all-wheel steering. I've never had an all-wheel steering truck. I've never attempted to build it before, so let's just see how this goes. First step, removing tires, obviously. Simple. Next step, wheel nuts, wheel pins. A little bit that I've been doing because easy to lose. Just tuck them right back in the slots. Some of y'all might have better wheel pins than that. Oh, that one's actually just a little bent. Some of you might actually use a hex pin system that drives down through it. This is just Old Red. He doesn't have nothing that fancy. So the next step after that, get your wheels, nuts, and pins out. Take your end tubes off. Now these SCX-10 axles are a split casing plus these end tubes. Technically make them, I guess, a 4-piece. It's normally 4 screws. But I kind of prepared this video ahead of time to make my work a little simpler. And I only put 2 screws in. So remove these tubes like and then just take this whole assembly, stick it aside, and repeat on the other side. Just like that. And the bearing stayed in this side. Well, stayed in both sides. So there you go. Regular straight axle, end tubes, with shafts. Now luckily, like I said, I had this extra steering axle, which could become another rear axle if you wanted. And then you take your steering components and you start assembling them into the axle. Make sure you get that inside the ring gear. You'll know because it'll lock. It won't turn unless you force it to turn the whole drivetrain. And then you just go like this. Pop this guy on here. Make sure everything's good to go. And I'm just going to do this now. So the bearing and everything does stay in place. Don't put that on backwards. Voila. Put a couple screws in. I'll have to grab a couple extras. I already know where they are. So if you do this, make sure you keep an eye on your hardware. Before we go any further, I thought I should mention that to do this, you also do need at least a 3-channel transmitter system. Leave this set to center, and then when I go one way, they'll steer one way. The other way, they'll steer the other way. And I also have independent endpoint adjustment settings. That's going to help tremendously. Just set that there as kind of a reminder. Now, I was also thinking ahead, if I just go ahead and slap this assembly in here, I'm going to have some extra things in the way before I get to do this. So we're going to take care of this right now. And the first time I assembled all this, I had the luxury of not doing it on camera. So I could pick it up and move it around in such a manner that made it easy. Alright, now the servo plate is mounted. I'm going to run the line for the servo. I'm thinking it's going to run it up through here so I can zip tie it in a nice safe spot up the side of here, keeping it away from the gears, and then to the receiver. So we'll just do that. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead of that plate. Alright, pop a couple screws in there, and that'll be good to go. I've seen a couple people take shortcuts and only put 2 screws in each servo. Being that it does so much labor, it's well worth doing it the right way. Okay, servo's installed, not hooked up yet. Let's go ahead and put this other side in, and then we'll hook up the servo to the receiver and give it a try. Once again, just give it a gentle little turn until you feel it go into the ring gear. Bearings give me some heat here. And into the bearing you go. Thank you. And line that up. Everything's good. Next thing, hook up all the linkages. But first, let's make sure we get the screws in here. It'd be a heck of a thing to come loose on the trail, wouldn't it? Now for them linkages. Oh. You know what, guys? Yeah, don't do what I just did. I put this on upside down. Half of you are probably screaming out, why didn't you guys tell me? Okay, We'll fix that right now. There we go, everything all sorted. Now, I'll just hook up this steering servo. Snug that up nice. That might be worth a spot of Loctite though. Okay, so before we go any further, I think it'd probably be wise to give ourselves a little bit of a power test. Now, gotta make sure it works and all. So, RC 4-wheel drive 3-channel setup. I already know what I'm doing ahead of time, so power on. Power on. Alright, so there's standard steering. Looks like we use a little bit more this way though. That's a pretty good angle right there. Back to center. That's pretty nice. So, it'll be able to crab walk. It'll be able to turn real tight. This could be a heck of an advantage. Alright, let's finish buttoning it up. We'll come right back and you'll see it all together. There you have it, all together, ready for, well, a sort of testing. I really don't have anywhere I can just set this up inside and wheel it around and show you guys. So I'm going to throw it up on the jack stands. Well, I have thrown it up on the jack stands. And we'll just kind of do a lifted test. So with the tires turning, there's your regular steering. Right? Oh yeah, look at that. So you're crab walking. That is so cool. I am actually really happy with how that looks. Look at how tight a turning radius that is. Okay, I've zoomed out as far as it's going to let me. We're going to try and do a 180 turn on this table. Might have to Austin Powers sing here a little bit, but you know, we'll get her. Oh, we're a little close. Hang on. We'll just crab walk it right to the center. Boom. There you guys go. What do you think of that? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you consider this as a mod for your OG SCX10? Pretty sure it'll work on the 10.2 and the 10.3 as well. There's a little bit of a downfall that I have noticed. I'll point that out in a second. I just want to throw in that it's a 4-link setup. This is not a 3-link truck. This is a 4-link truck, which makes this a little more easier to do. I'm not sure how well that would apply to a 3-link. But what I noticed is it's hitting the servo here. And I can fix that if I hone this plate out a little bit and I replace this with a different style rear bumper mount. Other than that, good to go. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Like, subscribe, share the video. These videos need and deserve views. Get on it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.